All right, we are live. The like I said, I'm not sure who to expect tonight. I think it's probably going to be a light group, but I will get any of your questions answered. We can talk about any takeaways. We can talk marketing. We can talk about whatever it is that you guys will find helpful. So for starters, you know, I'd like to know if you guys have made any progress this week in your businesses and where things are at from a standpoint of you consuming the information. Where along the ways, how far in are you? So Mike, let's start with you, bud. Where are you at in the training?
Well, I did all the module twos and stuff like that. I was just going through what we did on our call as far as the changes on my blog. And then I also had a meeting today with Tanya, and she had an hour session with her on the blogging. So I'm going and I'm revamping some of it. But other than that, just looking to make things better and getting my content out into different audiences.
And what was Tanya's take on how you were positioned in the marketplace?
Oh, she liked my blog. She said some of the same things that you kind of did. One of the changes that she had mentioned was that, like how you had said that I take off like that health part, which I did, because I was confusing people. But she said I could still do like a my interest section.
Okay.
And I could introduce the stuff that I like to do, like speed skating, running, triathlons, biking, and work that into my healthy living.
Cool.
And then I could work the health products into that as well, like introduce it, kind of like what you said.
Do one of you guys have a television on or something? Okay, that's all feedback, huh? Yeah, Jonathan, you got to wear the earbuds, buddy.
No problem.
Okay, we'll see if that's any better. So, awesome. So you're going to do a My Interest section where you can kind of cut loose a little bit and do your thing, right?
Yeah. And then I'm going to, on my About page, you had suggested also introducing health in there as well, which I can link to, say, a resource page, like my trusted products page, so that they can, for more information on what I like, blah, 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 and how I'm doing to generate leads online and stuff like that, just click here and it takes them to my resource page, or my trusted product page.
Okay.
So they can see things. And then she kind of told me how to, instead of having my trusted products as a post, which is what I have, I turn it into a page so that I can have the images and description there as well. So
cool.
Yeah, but no, it went well with both of you guys. So it was awesome that it was consistent, right? Because both of you guys were looking at it, and I got the same type of feedback.
Good.
So that was awesome.
Good. Yeah, that when we're working in environments with different people, I mean, obviously everybody markets different ways, everybody has different opinions, so it always is nice when you're not getting pulled in multiple directions. Do you know what I mean? Because that it can happen. So you went through Module 2 so far. Now keep in mind, guys, there still are 2 more videos to come into Module 2. One's on Twitter, one's on Instagram. But we got through everything Facebook related in there, which is I mean, everybody should have a Facebook account. Everybody should be on Facebook. You've been through all of Module 2, Mike?
Yeah, I did it last night. Yeah.
Awesome. Any takeaways for you? Where are you at in your social media marketing?
Oh, I had quite a few. It was I took away like. I did have like a question, but I guess we'll get that to later. Like the biggest mistakes, that was kind of nice to go through to figure out, what everyone is doing at the same time. that mass event link thing is just annoying when people have those events. So it's good to know that stop doing that. And I know I was guilty of doing that a few times because that's what I was told to do, and I was like, oh, okay. So that was from video 2. What about video 1? Video 1 was all about why do social media and the misconceptions. So I took all those notes down, and then I kind of like turned why social media into a blog post today. I did
Awesome.
the five reasons why you need to do social media. The red bombing I had, yeah, I knew it that. I didn't know that terminology, but I've seen that.
Yeah, I mean, there is no terminology. That's just...
Yeah. So, video 3, the only thing, I've never done a Twitter ad, so that's the only thing I might look into later on, but it was all about Facebook, Twitter, Instagram.
I've never done a Twitter ad either. Mike, I'm not so much looking for a recap of the videos. Was there anything that hit home for your business? Was there anything you said, ooh, I'm gonna start doing this in my business, or I'm gonna stop doing this in my business?
Well, the biggest mistakes ones, right? Like that's the one where took home, right? That's where I was like, okay, like I made it to a checklist, kind of like, do I do this? Do I do that? Do I need to stay away from make sure when I am doing a post that I'm not becoming like I guess not really, I don't do spam, but like dropping links all over the place, even though.
Yeah, and the social influence checklist too is a really good resource. Have you downloaded that yet?
Yeah, I do. I have all your stuff right beside me, actually.
Awesome. That's a great resource. To make sure that you're behaving like a good marketer on social media.
Yeah.
How about yourself, Jonathan? Where's your business at, bud? What are you working on at the moment?
Well, me and you just kind of talked. You guys can hear me fine now?
Yeah.
Okay, well, yeah, me and you just kind of had our first kind of call session last night, so that was kind of big, like just seeing the breakthrough and kind of how I wanted to position myself and really narrowing and laser focusing on my target audience.
Okay.
And so really liked about that, and like I said, just talked about kind of how the online component fits into my business. And so that's kind of what I've been thinking about all day. After we talked, I got to hit, I think I got the 6th video. And so a lot of this I kind of like knew, but there were still like little nuggets pulled away from like each one of those videos. And I'm a little bit more excited for the Twitter thing because I have Facebook, and I was really kind of excited about how you...
Oh.
One sec. I almost died there. I was just really excited about when you talked about like doing like your business on your personal page as opposed to like a fan page, because that was another thing I've seen tons of people doing it on their personal page, and what were kind of like the benefits.
You're breaking up on us, bud.
Can't hear me now?
Yeah, so. I don't know if it's the earbuds. It sounds like if a plug has a bad connection,
If I do this, can you hear me better?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I'll just speak through this, and when I listen, I'll put the earbuds back in. I'm sorry about this. This is like my first time using Google Hangouts.
Yeah, no worries. So. This is the nature of Google Hangouts.
Yeah, so like I really like that part, kind of like seeing. Cause I always wondered, I'm like, well, do you do a fan page? Because I don't really want to put my business on the thing. So seeing how you set that up and the pros and cons of both, like the reach and that, I really kind of liked, and so I've been thinking about that all day.
Yeah, I'm a believer in fan page. If people want to do business from their personal profile, that's cool. I do business from my personal profile, but I think every business should have a fan page.
Yeah, and I really want to see the Twitter one because even though 24 and I should be a little more into the social media, I'm not as much, and so getting into like the Twitter, because like you said, Twitters and Instagrams are just huge right now. And so with my business and like kind of like the product My Biz Off, there's a lot of like imagery and stuff, so I think I could really kind of take advantage of that, but it's just figuring out that whole realm and how it works.
Yeah.
And so kind of excited to see like what the video says, because like my one big thing is like, from my understanding so far, like with Twitter is like on my Facebook page, right? If someone posts or goes to post something on my wall, I have control whether I can like allow it to show up or not, right? Like on your privacy settings.
Yep.
With Twitter, from what I've got, is it's kind of like a free for all. Like anybody can post or follow or hashtag your stuff.
It's a much more open form of communication.
Yeah, and like my only thing is just like I was just wondering, like, one, if you have like said like, do I set like if I have like a Twitter for like my personal thing, can you also have a Twitter for like business side too? Because like having like friends or something post something stupid or doing things like that when I want to have like a serious kind of business side, right?
You absolutely can.
You can? Okay, I just didn't know that, so.
Yeah, you can have multiple Twitter accounts without a problem. Again, you're still going to want to brand you.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing, is I want to brand me, but being younger, like I said, I'm trying to go in a different direction than a lot of my friends, and so bringing this up, they're like, oh, you know, that's stupid and this and that, and I just didn't want, whereas on Facebook I can control if someone posts something and stuff that's taken away from me branding myself in the way I want to be branded.
Yeah.
As opposed to like on Twitter, I didn't want like friends saying, oh, you did this stupid thing like 2 years ago, and like, you know, just kind of being young, immature idiots, for lack of better words.
I think that I'd like to believe that that would probably happen a lot less than you think it would, and it'd probably be a lot less noticeable than you think it would be.
That's what I wanted to do. I just wanted to check if there was anything.
Yeah, I'm not, you know, Twitter is definitely not my focus, right? I'm going to give you guys an overview as to how to communicate with people, you know, how to connect with people, how to find your target audience on there, all that good stuff. But, yeah, I mean, I'll tell you, it is a more open form of communication. There's no doubt about that.
Okay. And then, yeah, so that was just kind of, we talked about, like, setting up my kind of my content for, like, my first kind of giveaway, and so I've been kind of thinking about that. Like I said, we just talked last night, and I had work. I had to duck out. I've been here all day because it's 5 o'clock here, so.
Yeah, no worries. You'll email me when you have your giveaway, you know, kind of formed in your mind.
Yeah, and I've had that because I kind of have like what I want, like my first kind of giveaway to be. But then I've also started thinking, like, what are other things, like you said, like takeaways from going to my business conference, like little things like that. It's all stuff I've thought about kind of before, but now I'm kind of like how we had talked about how to really rein it in in a way that's going to appeal to the 99%.
Yeah.
And so I've been kind of thinking about that because I'm like, you know, don't want to put like something out there and then it take a while to get something else out. I want to kind of have some build like my main one and then have some other ideas cooking so that I can kind of position it a couple of days after each other, things like that.
Jonathan?
Yeah.
I've got permission, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you're overthinking it, buddy. So,
yeah.
Don't try and think you need your earbuds in. Sorry. Don't you in our conversation, even in our conversation the other day, it's always you have a series of steps in your head that are part of you getting to where you need to be, you know, getting ready to get ready to get ready. I'm thinking of a bunch of different ideas so that as soon as I have one, I've got the other one behind it in case this one's that way, and I don't want, if this one doesn't work, I got 3 more figured out. Put one together. Just put one together, right? Put one together and send it to me. If you spin your wheels, you know, and start thinking about, well, I don't want to put it out there if it's not the offer that's going to be long term. I don't want to put it out there if it's not going to be for this audience. I need to have one for this. I need to think about that like that. That's what we all do, okay? You got to become aware of it. Marketers do it all the time. But much like our conversation where it's like, no, you don't have to be here to do X, right? And just do it, just one. Think of one offer. Could be the worst offer the marketplace has ever seen. That's going to be better than thinking into the process of what's next, what's the offer after that, the offer after that, the offer after that. I would be happier if you gave me the worst offer I'd ever seen in my life. Make sense? Dorico, how are you, buddy?
Doing good, Justice, man. What's going on, everybody?
Not too much. We're going down the line here, just kind of catching up with everybody. Gurjeet, any updates on your end with your business?
With my business, I've just spoken to the person who's doing my website, and next week we are going to connect. But I have put a post up on my fans page. So earlier I had somebody else putting up posts, but now I've started putting them myself.
Excellent. And were you able to review some of the videos in Module 2?
No, not 2. I was trying to complete module 1 because that also is quite a bit now. I see that. So I went through 2 videos and that's it.
You went through 2 videos in Module 2?
Module 1.
Okay, Module 1.
Yeah, I haven't started module 2.
Okay. Well, Module 2 is going to help you a lot when it comes to understanding social media and your fan page and the types of things you should post. And I highly, highly, highly recommend, and I don't know if you've downloaded it yet, the Social Influence Checklist.
I did download that. I have that.
Okay. And that gives you a breakdown of the types of posts, right? Awesome. So that's a real breakdown of the types of things that you should be posting on social media. I don't know, how many fans do you have currently?
I was looking at the likes, but I have about 389 likes. But fans, I didn't look at that.
That's what I meant. Fans. That's likes. Yeah.
Okay, 389.
389. And do you know where they came from?
They're people I don't know. Most of them.
Okay. Any idea how they found you?
No.
And they just kind of come along the way? I mean, it's just kind of grown?
Yeah, it has. I don't know how people look at my posts. I'm not aware of that process. How they find us.
Excellent. Well, I'm excited for, especially with your, after our coaching call, with your business model. I'm excited for you to build up that fan page. In Module 2, towards the end, I talk about how to advertise for likes. Okay, how to advertise for fans. And it can be very inexpensive, and you can get out there and you can really, you can do some pretty good targeting. And there's a lot of pages out there that people, that could be your potential audience follow and like, and you can put your page right out in front of them. And guys, so that you know, when we get into Module 4, which is traffic, we're going to talk about retargeting. Okay? Does anybody know what retargeting is?
Is that when you're bringing back old content?
Retargeting is when you take a person that has landed on a website.
Yes, you talked about that.
And you advertise to them on another platform. So in other words, the travel companies do it to you all the time. Have you ever searched for a hotel room and then you go over to Facebook or you go to your email and all of a sudden there's banners like you search a trip to Mexico and all of a sudden it's like that trip to Mexico is just following you around the internet?
Actually, you follow me around, Genesis.
I know I do, right? You go to my website, and then you go to another website, and there's my face, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Okay,
I'm just starting to test that. That's Google Display Network. I'm trying to kind of crack the code on that because not a lot of people in our industry do that, and I shouldn't even be recording that right now because I want to get the jump on it. But we got to see, we got to see how effective it is. But okay, so you go to my website, right? And then what happens? Everywhere you go on the web, there's my smiling face following you around.
Yeah.
Okay.
I noticed that too, Justice, because after I visited and then I went somewhere else, your ad was there, right in front of me.
Yep. So here's on Facebook, it's very easy to do. Okay, so what we're going to teach all of you to do in Module 4. And video 7 in Module 2 is about running likes ads, okay? Running ads to build your fan page up. Now, there's a huge benefit to that. I want you guys to understand how important that is. The big benefit is that later in advertising, if you want to do Facebook advertising, you can run ads to only your fans, right? You can target your fans. Now, if somebody who's a fan of yours sees an ad of yours, are they more likely to convert or less likely to convert than somebody who doesn't know you?
More likely.
Absolutely. So that alone is a very good reason to run paid ads to build up your likes, even if it's on a very small budget. Because those people that are in your world, okay, they know you. Now later you can target them again when you have something more specific to put in front of them. But what we're going to teach you how to do, I mean, that's a basic, Video 7 is a basic how to get likes ad, okay? It's how to run an ad for likes. What we'll teach you to do in Module 4 is how to retarget people. So when they go to your website and then they go over to Facebook, when they get over to Facebook, they can see an ad to like your fan page after they visited your website. Make sense?
Yep.
Just like I follow you to Bed Bath & Beyond's website, or, you know, like everywhere, you know, all random stuff, right? It's all based on, I'm not doing that based on keywords. I'm doing it based on the fact that you visited my website. Okay, so we can do the same thing on Facebook, and that's a good way to get your likes ads in front of people.
Okay.
So, Gurjeet, you said you're still going through Module 1. You started to post. You started to post yourself on your fan page, right? You said you started to take control of the fan page postings.
Yes, that's what I said.
Okay, and that's something you plan on. Are you going to take over control of that?
Yes, that was my plan.
Yeah, it's a good plan, especially where you're at. Okay, at some point, sure, you know, we can have people do different things for us. I don't know that social media is ever the thing we want people doing for us. Okay, social media is just that. It's social. It's a people situation, and you know, it would be like you sending a body double to a party. You know, you're just not. It's not going to be the same as you being there. That's the bottom line. So good. I think that it's better that you take it over, especially now that you have Module 2 to go through, because you'll have a better understanding of stuff. And you know, here's the thing, guys. It's great to have things handled for us. It's great to outsource. But it's best, outside of the highly technical stuff, it's best that you have an understanding of how the core things in your business work. Because otherwise you can't ask someone else, you can't give clear direction as to what you want done. You can't monitor whether someone's doing a good job. Okay, if you don't yourself understand, you know, at least the fundamentals, then, you know, having somebody else run something for you could be, you know, could be bad. Any questions?
Yeah, how often, Justice, should we be posting on our fan pages?
Well, it's the same as what's in the social influence checklist there. Theoretically, 5 to 10 times a day.
Yeah, I looked at that and I thought that seems so unreasonable, because I'm just thinking of posting once in 5 to 10 days.
Once in 5 to 10 days is way too little. Okay, you need to post daily. You know, you should be posting every day. Where people take it from there, 5 to 10 seems like a lot, but that is not my number. Okay, that's numbers that have been passed down from great social media marketers. You know, things are, see, there are certain things. I always say it like this. There are certain things that I don't test. I let other people test them for me. So when I know, I'll give you a great example. I know that my mentor, Ray Higdon, just hired Brian Tracy's paid advertising guy. Okay, does anybody, you guys ever hear of Brian Tracy?
Yeah.
Okay. He hired the guy that does the paid advertising for Brian Tracy to do his paid advertising. So what am I doing? I'm taking snapshots of every ad that I see from Ray Higdon, because I know they're being run by Brian Tracy's ad guy. Okay, so am I going out there and trying to figure out what a great ad looks like on my own? No, I'm not testing the different headlines and I do some of that stuff, don't get me wrong. But I rely on, if I know there's an expert behind something, there's a lot of bad marketing out there too. I don't just grab everything. When I know there's an expert behind something, I pay very close attention to how they're doing it. So when it comes to posting 5 to 10 times a day, I know that that's experts that have determine that, right? And so I rely on them. This is the most important part, Gurjeet. The most important part is that whatever you do it consistently. Okay? So if you guys are going to post 2 times a day on your fan page, 1 time, 2 times, at least post 1 or 2 times. At least do it every day.
I have a question.
Okay?
All right, so with the posting 5 to 10 times a day, I don't know if everybody else is like that, like myself, but you know, coming up with like good stuff to actually put on your fan page. You know, where do you guys get that stuff from? I mean, like to come up with 10 things off the top of my head to put on my fan page that would be of value to my fans. You know, how do you come up with that without, like, I guess, visiting somebody else's fan page and taking something that they already, you know, put out there?
So here's the thing. This is habit building. Okay? It's about building habits. And I'll tell you, I still work on it myself. I don't post that much on my fan page.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? But I also don't get the kind of results that are possible on social media.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there are things I do in my business more than other people do. There are things I do less. I mean, everybody's business is going to have a kind of a focus area, right? But I know personally, and I've been giving my fan page more and more and more attention because I understand the power of advertising to those fans. Okay, so, but I know that it comes down to habits. And when you're sitting there, like, I got to post on Facebook, I got to post 10 times today, and you're trying to come up with everything at that moment, you're never going to come up with everything at that moment.
Right.
Okay? So what I would do, personally, is, first of all, in the social influence checklist, there's a breakdown of the types of posts, right? So there's different kinds of posts. What I would do personally is I'd sit down once at the beginning of the week on a Monday for a half an hour and go search image quotes and inspirational quotes and come up with a swipe file for the whole week. Okay, and you can even schedule some posts on your fan page. So what I wouldn't do is I wouldn't schedule everything. You know, I'm not big on automating that stuff. But what you can do is maybe you can schedule 1 or 2 posts per day and in one sitting. In other words, on a Monday, you could schedule out a couple of posts a day for your whole week, and then you can fill in every time you're on social media. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so basically just taking, you know, some of the things that we can put on there, like motivational quotes or, you know, things like that, you know, helps the mindset of the fans that we have.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think what I'd like you to understand, Dorico, and I have a feeling that that when people get in that place, like, what the heck do I post? That there's a little understanding missing, and that is that we keep wanting to post things that work. We keep wanting to post things that are business related. We keep wanting to post what's the right thing to post, right? And in reality, it's social media. People want to know Dorico.
Right.
Okay? So, meanwhile, you're sitting there, you know, taking a walk or having dinner, okay, having a nice meal, you know, doing something that you think is totally, it never even crosses your mind when you have fans that want to know what you're up to. Okay?
Right. Okay.
And that's the lifestyle stuff. The lifestyle doesn't mean that you've got to be a jet setter. Okay, lifestyle pics, imagery that represents your life, are just letting them inside. If you exercise, hey, you know,
yeah,
but snap a pic of the front of the treadmill and say, hey, you know, getting in my daily exercise. Who else? Questions, right? Who else is getting exercise into that? Okay. Now, when you're thinking, what the heck do I post? Is that the kind of stuff that's coming to mind? It's not, right?
No.
Okay, and that's why you got that, like, that's why you're drawing a blank. Trust me, Dorico, posting on social media was not something that I enjoyed. It wasn't like, like social media is in some place that I've always loved, right?
Mm-hmm.
I have to, even myself, be conscious of that and always keep pushing myself to make that shift to where it's like, oh, you are doing this right now, you know? Oh, you should let people in. Oh, you can turn this into a question or something valuable or something fun, okay? People want to get to know you.
I see where you're going with that.
Yeah, see, we got to shift out of the what works mentality. We need to do what works, right? We're looking for engagement. We're looking for relationships, right? People are going to feel a closer bond with Dorico if they exercise too, and he's exercising in the morning.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Make sense, guys? Do you guys find that helpful?
Yes, Justice. I have something to say.
Okay.
The person who was posting earlier on my behalf was posting things like, say, a beautiful picture or, beautiful baby or some pacifier or something like that. And then people would like that. So I thought it had nothing to do with me. I thought it had just things to do with birthing and pregnancy. But I never thought like what you just said, that they would be interested in knowing about me or what I was doing. This seems a little strange to me.
Well, let me ask you this. Your role is to guide people, okay, into a healthy and natural birth experience, right?
Yes.
Do you think that person wants to choose somebody based on stock images of babies and pacifiers, or do you think they want to know the person who's going to guide them into their birth experience?
Makes a lot of sense.
It does.
Okay. And you see, it is such a natural thing, Gurjeet, for everybody to want to post stuff that's niche related, right? Like that's the biggest misconception is that it's social media.
Yeah.
Okay. It's the small businesses have a tendency to be terrible with it. Okay, they post hours of operation and they post picture upon picture stock images of stuff that's related to what their business is.
Yeah.
Okay, like restaurants are posting happy hour today with a stock image of a martini, when in reality people want to see a picture of the two bartenders. They want to see the people.
Yeah, Justice, that's just like, the more you dive into this, like going back to like Ray Higdon, he, a lot of times he lets you into his lifestyle. So when you see him posting on social media, I mean, you feel like you are like there with him. You see, like, see what he's doing, what he's eating. It's not all the time. It's not all the time business related. You get into actually know the guy.
Watch how much is not business related.
Right.
Okay. Watch how much is a video of his dog barking for 14 minutes.
Right.
Watch how much of it, or for 14 seconds. Watch how much is that kind of stuff. And that's what gets engagement. Now, do we want to represent ourselves unprofessionally, or it all depends. On how you want to, on who you are. Right. Remember, there's somebody for everybody. Okay, there's somebody, Gurjeet, that you're right for to help them with their birth experience, and there's somebody that you're not right for. Mm-hmm. You can't change that. Okay, and the moment we try and be right for both people is the moment we're right for neither. And sometimes it's good to be unique. Sometimes it's good to be yourself. Sometimes, believe it or not, it's even good to be polarizing. Okay, when I talk in Module 1 about what do you stand for? What's your message? Who do you fight for? Okay, when you stand for something, it's polarizing. It splits an audience, right? When you stand for something, there's a group that might be rubbed the wrong way. There's a group that might rally right next to you, okay? But the group that rallies right next to you is the right group. Mm-hmm. When you stand for nothing, you resonate with no one. Now, I want to make sure I'm not misunderstood here. It doesn't mean that we go out there on issues like politics and things like that and take a stand on politics and all that different stuff. Let people figure that stuff out, okay? Yeah. We don't need to put our political views, shove our political views down someone's throat. You know, I love one time my buddy posted a quote on Facebook, and it said, thank you so much for all your extreme political posts. You finally have changed my vote. Said no one ever. You know, like the quote with the said no one ever. You know, because you're not changing anybody that way. What I'm talking about is, if you're in home business, okay, and you see all the marketing messages out there that are saying XYZ, push button this, never call a lead. Okay, you can be the opposite. You can speak out and say, hey, listen, you know, it's time for us to raise our industry up. Okay, and you know, start having people build relationships. You know, what's up with the marketing messages that are this way? Or you could go the completely other way. I'm not telling you which one's right. You could go the other way and say, man, stop. Why do they keep telling you got to call people when we have the internet? Okay, this is the way I'm doing it. Nobody's telling me otherwise. And you're going to have a group of people that will rally on you either side. Right, Gurjeet, you can take a position, and it's going to be a position that you believe in. But you can take a position about, you know, C-sections. You can take a position about, you know, the medical community, where it's going, you know, what it is, what the experience is like for the everyday mother. You know, you can hold a position on that. Does that make sense?
It does. And I have two questions that come to mind.
Okay.
One is that I just thought of all this when you were, you know, giving us sound advice. And one of that is, if I have any pictures with some authorities, like say, for example, with Dr. Joe Dispenza, or with, you know, a legend in my field, which is Penny Simpkins. I was thinking that would be really good to put up. That shows that these are the sort of people you relate to and you know, learn from.
It is. You're beyond 1,000% right. Mm-hmm. Those are the best pictures you can have, Gurjeet. They should be on your website. They should be on the About Me page of your website, you know, throughout, and you should kind of, you know, tell a little story with them. They should go up on your fan page for sure.
I've been hiding them in my pictures folder on the desktop.
What's that?
I've been hiding them in the pictures folder on my desktop.
Yeah, see, that's the stuff the marketplace needs to see, and we call it the, I forget what it was called. I heard it referred to as, I think it...
Is it something by authority by association?
Yeah, it was something along the lines, I heard somebody talk about something called a power triangle, and it was about getting to events. Okay, and I don't remember exactly how it worked, but, you know, in the home business niche, we get to events, right? And one of the reasons it's so important to get to events is to get around those people. Right, and it raises your credibility up. Just getting to events brings your market value, the perception of your value up. Okay, I mean, that stuff is the biggest stuff. To speak totally candidly with you guys, I mean, my biggest concern about Live the Dream has not been, you know, exactly what my speech is going to sound like or what I'm going to say from stage. It's looking at, hey, wait a second, there's going to be a lot of pictures taken. What am I going to wear up on stage? Is it going to look different enough from my other pictures so that, you know, you can tell that I'm speaking at different events, right? Because the pictures are that important. They really are. You know, the stage pictures, the pictures with, you know, with professionals in your field, in your industry, they're that important.
I have a question, the second one. That's exactly what you said right now. Now the problem with putting those pictures up is I've taken all of them with my Indian dress, and now I feel that doesn't look so professional. I should be wearing shirt and pant or something like that, which was more stylish and more sort of professional, I think. So that's a fear that I have.
Put them up, and here's why, Gurjeet, is because you have every right to get out there and be you. Okay, that's you. It's your culture. It's what you wear. It's who you are. Okay, and again, it's in efforts to not be perceived a certain way by a certain group of people, you don't become the right person for any group of people. Okay, there is nothing, guys. No matter what, we need to get out there and be us. Okay, now. There is somebody out there. There's customers, there's clients, there's teammates, there's somebody out there for everybody. Are there limits? I mean, some would argue yes, right? A guy like Dave Wood would tell you no, right? A guy like Dave Wood speaks on stage in bare feet, swears on video, swears in email, right? Talks about how he hasn't showered, cuts videos in the middle of the night when he was getting started. Like, and he built an army, right? He had people just flocking to him. He did everything that people would say, oh, that's not professional, don't do it. But he did it with conviction. He did it as him, right? And that was attractive to people. So if you start hiding something that makes you you, you know, because you're worried about how someone might perceive it, the authenticity of you gets dulled. And it makes you less attractive to the right people, right? Is that helpful, Gurjeet?
Yes, very helpful.
Awesome. Questions, guys?
Yeah. Well, I was going to talk to you about automation because I do a lot of scheduling of posts and stuff like that, but I think I'm going to, just because I looked at my insights to see when my fans were online, so
Yep.
I kind of like picked those times to schedule posts so that they would see me. I understand doing some automation and some not. Just during the day, I guess when I'm at my job, I would schedule posts, then at night I might just kind of change it up.
Here's what I'll tell you. I don't want to be misunderstood. You know, I kind of really push people away from automation in the training because there's so many tools out there that get pushed. You know, like, hey, you know, these auto Facebook posters and you know, people use things like Hootsuite that's posting everywhere for them on all their different social media accounts. And the reality is that stuff isn't really good. Okay, and Facebook doesn't like when auto posters post on their site. It won't reach as many people. But scheduling some posts on your fan page, there's really nothing wrong with that. Okay.
Okay, yeah, because that's the only thing I do. Like, I don't use Hootsuite and all that stuff.
Yeah,
Like, I just schedule posts.
Here's what I'll tell you, Mike. The most important thing, okay, if you're going to schedule posts, the most important thing is really to check in and be able to check in, even if it's from your mobile phone, and know what's going on with those posts. In other words, when people comment, when they like, when they engage, social media is meant for engagement. So you want to be there, you know, you want to respond, you want to be part of the conversation rather than just have your Facebook page, you know, just your Facebook page can't just turn into this, you know, auto syndicator of inspirational quotes, you know, where they just pop up every 3 hours and that's it, and Mike checks on it one time a day. That's not really helpful. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Oh, I'm going to mute out. Gurjeet.
No, that makes sense. It you know, and I usually when I get comments or likes or whatever, I'll comment like, hey, thanks for dropping by, or how are things going today for you, stuff like that.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean that's the name of the game. You just don't want to be too far removed from that. In other words, you don't want to let the automation get in the way of that, and you don't want to let it feel automated. So in other words, like if a quote's going up every day at 3, 6, and 9, you know, like I don't know, it doesn't feel as much. It doesn't feel the same as if Dorico's, you know, exercising in the morning or showing you the dinner he's having at night, you know, or letting you into his world. It doesn't feel the same if it's just, you know, bing, 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 bing today, bing, 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 bing.
And then kind of people probably kind of pick up on that too. Think, you know, I can look at something and if it's a post maybe happening at the same time every day, then you kind of got you can kind of figure it out that it's probably automated.
Theoretically, you know, I don't know that anybody will ever notice it at such a deep level. But for some reason, automation just, again, it goes back to the message behind the message. It goes back to the energy, the vibration, the intention. You know, automated will never trump non-automated. Just can't.
Yep.
Somehow the feeling of automation is going to shine through. Doesn't matter how well crafted it all is. Okay, you can write the best email autoresponders in the world.
Yeah.
There's still going to be autoresponders, any which way you slice it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, I'm not, Mike, just to be clear, I'm not anti-scheduling posts by any means.
Okay. Yeah, I was just a little confused. So, okay, cool. I did, and then another question, if I can ask this one. Um, you had talked about group spamming. Now, I know what all that is and I see it all the time, but I'm trying to get into these groups and kind of give them like some value. So, if I create like a post on my blog, is it considered group spamming if I just drop that link on there, or is there should be a different way I should be going about it?
No. You know, if it's value oriented, I think it's good to drop it in groups. And the reality is you stand out from the other people in that group, right? 99% of that people in that group are going in there diving for dollars. They're like, you know, spamming, hoping somebody will click their opportunity link and join. And then here comes Mike dropping a blog post in there that tells him 5 ways to get leads, or, you know, or 3 good closing tips. And you're totally differentiating yourself from everybody else in that group, right? And the reality is people in those groups, because they don't know any better, they're the ones that could use that help. So, you know, if you're dropping valuable information in that group, no, by all means.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure, because if it's a public group, it like goes on our friend stuff too, right? So I wanted to make sure I wasn't like.
If it's a public group, like with the public groups, I would never do more than 2 or 3 because
Right.
It does. It shows up. It fills your whole news feed, you know. So yeah, but I don't see a problem in that at all. I mean, I pop my blog posts in groups when they come.
Okay, cool.
Oh, I can't hear you, Jonathan. It looks like you're trying to talk. Nope. Yeah. Poor Jonathan. Poor Jonathan and the mic. Try without your earbuds, bud. No, it looks like you got to go back to the settings. Feel free, Jonathan. Feel free to use the chat, but use the chat in Webinars on Air, not the one in Hangouts. You just got to click the 4-colored square over on your left menu bar, and then there's a little chat bubbles up in the Webinars on Air spot. Other questions while Jonathan works on his audio or chatting the question?
If we think of a question, not on this Google Hangout, but during the course of the week, could we just email you?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Here's what I'd like to see this week from you guys. Okay, I'd like to see a push, a social media push, based on that social influence checklist. Okay, now 5 to 10 times a day may be a lot for you at the moment from a standpoint of habit, from a standpoint of habits. But I would say, at minimum, try and push for the 3 to 5 times a day. And if you've got to schedule 2 to 3 of those ahead of time, so be it. And try and manage kind of the percentages of that social influence checklist breakdown. The valuable resource, the imagery, the inspirational quotes, that kind of thing. And for you, Gurjeet, those quotes can be niche related, right? The valuable posts can be updates in the medical world. There's plenty of blogs and resources out there that post about these things. The goal for all of you is for the resources, the valuable resources part of it, to become your content. Okay, that's where you want to go, because that's when it positions you as the authority. That's when, if you get a new fan and then they see you educating on the subject, and then Gurjeet, they look and they see you in pictures with the doctors, right? You've got, you got a new fan, they see this activity, they see pictures of you with the doctors, and then all of a sudden you're dropping X information in that educates them. Right? And you talk about the 3-step formula: infrastructure, okay, audience, and influence. Dorica, you've had the light bulb go off. I know what,
Yes.
based on our conversation, you're starting to see that.
Yes.
Jonathan, did you have a question? It seemed like earlier you were trying to ask a question and you had some audio issues. You're muted at the moment, by the way. Got to unmute yourself if we're gonna try and talk again.
And
Yeah.
Justice, even even
Second, Gurjeet, sorry. I just want, Jonathan, you're unmuted now, but, oh, there it is. Let me just answer Jonathan's question, Gurjeet, and then we'll get right to it.
okay.
Just wondering, since we want to be transparent and let them see us and who we are, what we are doing, do all posts of that kind need to be super positive, or is there any place for posts that show that I'm grinding or have my up and down days like everyone else that they can relate to? No, you want to keep it positive, Jonathan. Now, you can put a positive spin on things that have happened, okay? I've done that many a time, where I'll say, XYZ just happened. 2 years ago, okay, it would have upset me this way. Now I know it's just a bump in the road. Excited for another shot tomorrow, etc., etc. See, that's a positive spin on a negative thing. Does that make sense, Jonathan? And yeah, we don't want to hang out our dirty laundry on Facebook. I mean, shit happens in everybody's life. There's no doubt about it. But it's just not. We'll go back to curiosity versus resistance, and when I talk about that, I talk about using yourself as the gauge. Okay, what would you, if you were the person, on social media, if you were, in the stranger's shoes, how do you feel when someone spams your wall? How do you feel when someone posts like this? How do you feel when someone does that? How do you feel when you get this kind of email? So what is the thought process when you see someone post negatively that goes through your head? What's the assumption? What do you jump to? And know that you're going to create that with someone else. Okay? And, if when people post negatively, there's a level of satisfaction where you're like, oh man, I know what you mean. If that's where you're at, then you've got to take a step back and say, hey, wait a second. Why does this get me going, right? Like, why is it something that I'm drawn to? We've got to, constant self-evaluation. But yeah, keep it positive. Put a positive spin on the negative. Put it that way, because that'll make people go, yeah, you know what? That kind of thing happens to me. I love the way Jonathan looks at it. Your question, Gurjeet?
Yes, I just thought about if there's any current news that relates to your niche or topic. I think that would be really good to put up on your fan pages.
Those are the two resource posts. Okay, out of the 5 to 10 posts in that list, in the checklist that's on the social influence checklist there, it breaks down like lifestyle, resources, inspiration. The resources are the niche-related resources. Okay, what I do see a lot of people do though, and I see this a lot with small businesses. I see a lot of small businesses that post all business-related stuff, and then they just post articles, niche-related articles. Like let's say it's my dentist and I like his fan page. Okay, all day long it's just this post is an article on this about dental hygiene. This post is an article about this about dental hygiene. This post is about, it's all niche related. Okay, and what can happen is you got to remember that people are opinionated, right? That everybody's got their own opinion, and so sometimes our opinion shines through in these posts and what we're posting. Hey, this is the way you should think. This is the way you should think. This is the way you should think, right? I worked with my chiropractor on this. He would post things and he'd say, see, there's, see what happens. There's too many people out there that are running too much, right? They're running too hard, or see, CrossFit can hurt you, or see this. Like, he puts his opinion on people, okay? Now, curiosity versus resistance. that creates resistance. Okay, if I put a niche-related article, Gurjeet, and it's specific to, you know, the way I feel about, you know, exactly how the birth process should go, right? And all day long, this is how it should be. You guys need to understand this. You guys need to understand this. Anytime I force my opinion down someone else's throat, they put their walls up, okay? Now, putting an article out and going, really interesting article, I know where I stand, just curious, what are your thoughts? No resistance. You guys see a big difference there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if you make a statement with an article that says, see, this is what I've been telling you, right? See, I told you, you know, that this is how the birth experience should go. Or Dorico, you know, you get out there and you say, see, I told you that this is, you know, how you need to market your business. And you can just putting your opinion on people over and over and over.
Mm-hmm.
When it's your inspiration, that's a little bit different. Okay, that's like you can get out there. I don't want to be misunderstood. You can get out there and take a stand for something. Okay, but when you start posting these, when you start posting resources that are, how do I put it? Put it this way. Don't. This is what I see a lot of people do. Don't post resources to sway the opinions of your fans. Post resources to bring value to your fans. So it's not always just what's right for you. Okay, maybe that's the best way to phrase it. Okay, and if it is, if it's something you believe strongly in, okay, you know, you can say, hey, listen, I think this is really important. This is something I really believe in, but I'd love to know your thoughts. Hey, or you can say, hey, you know, this is an opinion I know I share. Dr. So-and-so just wrote this article. If you happen to be interested in XYZ type of approach, you'll find this article really helpful. Do you see how much less resistance that creates? Do you guys understand the point I'm getting at? You know, I don't want to like talk out of both sides of my mouth. I kind of want to be clear.
Mm-hmm.
Did I bring it together to where it makes sense to you guys?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you're not teaching them. You're just sharing information.
Yeah, and yes, you know, and I just want to be careful. I don't want you guys to not be the teacher. Okay, I mean we're the authority, right? But there's a big difference, and it's a difficult thing to explain because I have a few fan pages that I'm friends with that are businesses that do this, and every time they do it, I go ooh. Right? It's I can feel it, right? It's like they're jamming their agenda down my throat.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? It's what they believe, it's what they think, it's what they wish all their clients or customers or, you know, or patients would do. And that's the way their message comes across. Oh, I got to plug in. Hold on just a second. So that's the point. The point is you know that it's not always about pushing our agenda down someone's throat. It's about opening dialogue, giving value, all that different stuff.
Justice, can we invite Jonathan back on? He says he has been kicked out of the Hangout.
Yeah, let's see. John, hey guys, my computer went out again. It kicked me out of the Hangout, and now can't hear you at all. Thanks for your help tonight, everyone. Questions, and I'll catch up with you next time. He said, sorry for all the computer trouble on my end. Okay, well, I mean, I think we're probably wrapping it up pretty soon anyway, so, you know, I'll cover anything with Jonathan on his coaching call. Guys, did I get that across right without, you know, I don't want to sway you from having an opinion. I don't want to sway you from being the teacher. I just see a lot of small businesses or businesses in general, you know, that post nothing but resources that are solely in line with their belief structure, what they want their patients or their customers to understand. It's not open dialogue kind of stuff. It's not like, hey, I really love this article. I agree with it, but I'm curious, what are your thoughts, right? Do you guys understand the fundamental difference there?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jonathan, sorry, Justice,
Yeah.
can I say something? This was really valuable for me because, like, as a profession, I'm a teacher, so what you said made a lot of sense to me because I try to tell everyone, like, if I speak, I say, oh, well, this is what I think. So it's really important for me now to get that I have to say it. I have to go about it in a different way, not just being the teacher, but being the authority who's sharing valuable information.
Exactly. You're the authority who's sharing valuable information. You're attracting people to you. Got to remember, people like to make their own choices. Okay? People like to have a role in their choices. They like to play a part in the conversation. They want to be a part of the process. Okay? Just like when we sell. Right? Everybody likes to buy, nobody likes to be sold. So the reality is we can educate people in congruence with what we teach. We can educate people in congruence with what we sell. We can educate people in congruence with whatever our agenda is. Okay, as long as our agenda is to serve people. But we've got to do it in a way where people feel like they're playing a role, where they're making their own decisions. If somebody decides that they want to share the opinion that you have, especially, and I say this, especially Gurjeet, when you're dealing with medical opinions, birth opinions, somebody decides they want to share the opinion with you, we just have to make sure that they feel like they're getting there on their own accord. Okay, that to be around X authority doesn't mean that they don't have an opinion or that they don't arrive at their own conclusions. And a lot of times that's what I see from a resource sharing end. It's much like the people, just like the people that share all the extreme political posts, right? That are pushing like how many people? Everybody's got somebody on their Facebook wall that terribly hates Obama, right? I mean, everybody's got a Facebook friend that just can't stand Obama, and it's like every day they're posting something. Okay. Now, I'm not even going to share my political opinion on here, okay? But the bottom line is, however I feel about Obama, that person is jamming their opinion down my throat. And I don't like it. I want to arrive at my opinion on my own. Right? Now, if they posted something and said, here's an interesting article about our president, curious what you think, you may want to give it a read. That feels a whole lot different to me than somebody going, we've got to get this guy out of office. Right?
Yeah.
To me,
right. Yeah.
That's abrasive. It says, hey, wait a second. I'm being told what we have to do. I'm not playing a role in deciding my, That's the fundamental difference I'm kind of trying to get at there. So when we share resources, this is super helpful. Man, I totally agree with this article. May or may not, you may or may not, but I'm curious what your opinion is. Thought you may find it helpful. Hey, here's an article I just read on XYZ. Thought you may enjoy it. Okay, then it's all about them.
So one last question, Justice.
Absolutely.
So how, on your fan page, I noticed that earlier the posts were very short. So can we just, when we want an article to be read, we just put the link in there, or
you said
the whole article?
I'm not sure I understand the question. I didn't catch it.
There's an article that's about 2 pages long.
Yeah.
And can you just put the whole article in your post, or do you just put a link there?
When you put the link there, it will load. Okay, Facebook will load up a picture and some link information, some article information. And then above the link, you'll type whatever you want them to see in conjunction with your post. Okay? So when you paste the link in, Facebook will gather information from that website and they'll auto-populate. Like, it won't be the whole article on Facebook. It'll be a picture that's associated with that article, and it'll be kind of the headline of the article, and then up top you can type whatever you want your audience to see or hear, you know, that kind of thing.
Got it.
All right, guys. Any other questions?
No.
I have a question when you run your ads, even if it's a like one. When you do like a $5, do you use multiple images when you run your ads, Justice?
I run a lot of my ads through Power Editor,
Okay.
which I'll talk about in Module 4.
Yeah.
So no.
Okay.
But I think it's an awesome option. Okay. In other words, if I wasn't using Power Editor, and the reason I'm using Power Editor on my image ads is because I want more room for text. So in the Power Editor, I can write longer headlines and subheadlines. Okay. When I'm using just the Ads Manager, it doesn't allow me to do that.
Right.
So I do that for more text, but I don't get the flexibility of putting multiple images in. I would use multiple images. I mean, why not let Facebook split test it for you?
Yeah. No, it keeps it kind of fresh too. If someone's seen the ad once before, they're like, it's a totally different picture or even a different image, that may draw them to that ad.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't see a downside to leveraging that option inside Facebook.
Cool. Thanks.
Because they'll literally start running, after it runs for a little bit, they'll start showing the picture that's performing the best. They want the ad to perform well. It's not like they're going to keep showing the bad pictures.
Yeah.
Right? They're gonna sort it out for you.
Yeah. And you had said to Jonathan for him to send you what his offer was. Did you want us to do that, or is that just between you two?
You're welcome to. You know, it was specific to a conversation we had, you know, where I was kind of pushing him to get an offer together. You know, but I'll gladly critique. You know, if you want to just send me, if you each want to send me an offer, I'll gladly give you my feedback.
Okay. Cool.
You know, what I was pushing Jonathan to do was to take information that he had gotten coming out of a company event, you know, and figure out how he could teach that to the marketplace in the form of an offer, just so that he could understand that he had value to give right now. Do you know what I mean? That it wasn't something he had to wait on, that he didn't have to, you know, that's something I'm going to talk about when, you know, something I'm going to talk about on stage at Live the Dream. Was you know, that I'm doing a presentation on stepping, you know, on stepping to the other side, making the mindset shift. And, you know, I say the hyper majority says not me, not yet. Okay, I'm not the guy. It's not me. I'm not the gal. I don't know enough, right? Not yet.
Right.
I will, right? One day I will. I'm not me. I can't do my own offer. Not yet I can't. But I will be able to.
Yeah.
Right? When in reality, the hyper minority, the people that are successful, okay, they say, why not me? Why not now?
Why not now?
Yeah.
Okay. And the reality is each and every one of you have enough information that you could put a killer giveaway together. I mean, heck, I told Jonathan, just with what's in that social influence checklist, I mean, it wouldn't be relevant to what Gurjeet's doing, but the two of you guys, I mean, what's in that social influence checklist? You could put something together just repurposing that information.
Yeah. No, that's true. Like, so I just wanted to double check on that. No. You know.
Yeah, feel free to send me something.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, no, I have my offer, and then I am doing my own little 35-day mini challenge for people where I have the students, and I'm eventually turning those 5 videos into a full-blown offer for people later on.
Paid or free?
5 videos like that, I think it should be paid.
Good. Good. So, do you have some participants in the challenge?
Yes, I do. Yeah, I have 5 right now.
Awesome. Are they paying to do it?
This one was just, no, they're not paying. It was I was running it as a kind of like your September sessions where they come on and they get the recording, and then at the end of it, it'll turn into they could purchase it for themselves for a discounted price, as I offer to other people for a full price type of thing.
Okay, so here's what's really important. One, you're going to want to get testimonials from them.
Yeah.
Okay. 5 people for a free challenge tells me that there's a lot of room for improvement in the roll your sleeves up kind of stuff. Okay, because you could get out there and network, and you could get 10, 15, 20 people into a challenge that's free. Hey, I just came out of the 100-day challenge. I just paid $500 to be in the 100-day challenge, right?
Right.
I'm going to do my own little challenge. It's totally free, right? Who wants in? You want in? So I would. Have you started it yet?
Yeah, our first one was on Monday.
Oh, did I lose you?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, the first one was on Monday.
There's a little piece of me that would say maybe you throw those 5 people some sort of little bonus to get out there and rally up some people and all go get like 2 people to run in the challenge with them. You know, that's just like a thought off the cuff here. But I mean, Mike, with your skills, bud, okay, I mean, you're a sharp guy. You're building a nice little online presence. I think like rather than seeing this as, hey, I'm going to get the 5 videos done, right? And so however many people are in it. You know, I would see wanting to get, if you're going to do it, wanting to get some people in it, because that's some really good exposure for you. It's really good testimonials. It's really good social proof. It's really good for getting people around your campfire.
Right.
So if there's a creative way out there that you can get a few more people involved, I would go for it. You know, and that's an idea. Quick paid ads. I mean, I ran paid ads for the September sessions.
Yeah.
Right. And did you notice how the paid ad was set up?
Yeah, it was set up as a post that you did on your page where people made, because they had to comment and then share it or whatever, and then you just boosted that post. In order to get into the private Facebook group, to get access to the recordings, the only place that you can get access to the recordings, right? We're just creating exclusivity. Where the cool kids are hanging out, hey, if you want this, there's another level behind secret door number 2 over here. Okay? Yeah. We create that exclusivity, and all people have to do is like, comment, and share. So it's just force virality they're promoting in exchange for access to the recordings. You know, and so think of ways like that to get creative, to get people into that place, because you're giving them something really valuable, right? Yep.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
I mean, I know, Mike, I know, you know, based on watching you in the 100-day, I know that if you wanted to put 20 people in a free challenge, you could go out there and network on social media and get 20 people in a free challenge. Do you believe you could do that?
Yeah, I know I should have been able to do it, yeah.
Yeah, and listen, so I am totally not misunderstood. The fact that you're doing this challenge is great, and the fact that you have 5 people in it is great, okay? Like, this is not a, man, you should have done it differently kind of talk.
No, I'm not taking it that way.
Yeah, I just want to make sure I don't come across that way, because you should be celebrated for doing it, you know? But I just see it as such an opportunity for you. I mean, coming out of the 100-day challenge, you know, I'm just trying to bounce ideas out there so that you can get more people in. You know, you can get more, but you can get more leverage out of it.
Right. Yeah. No, you gave me a lot of good ideas. Some of them I was kind of thinking on working with the people that are in it and trying to, you know, like give them something. I didn't know what I was going to give them or whatever, but yeah, I can make it a bonus type of thing and go from there. Yeah.
Give them a coaching call. give them an extra coaching call. Give them. You can give them the recordings. Let them be the only people that get the recordings for free.
Yeah.
Okay. You can put together your own social media checklist and give it to them as a bonus. Okay. There's a million things you can do.
Yeah. No, I have a lot of resources.
Awesome.
So I just had to think, I guess.
Any other questions, guys, before we wrap it up?
Perfect.
This guy's got a pack. I got to. I'm leaving at. I have a 6 a.m. flight, I think. Look.
Cool. Well, I'll see you there Saturday. I don't get in until 11 p.m. So.
11 on
Friday.
11 on Friday.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll see you Friday night.
Okay.
We're up and about. I know that.
Yeah.
I know.
All right.
I know the MLSP will be up and about. All right. Well, guys, did you find this helpful?
Yeah.
Very helpful.
Yes.
Perfect.
Awesome. So here's the deal, guys. Make this week kind of a quasi assignment. I'm actually going to start working in some assignment videos at the end of each module in the Audience Builder. Something that I would like to do differently, in little settings like this, is make sure that everybody has assignments. But as an assignment for you guys, make an effort to post 3 to 5 times a day on a social media account. Okay? And if that means sitting down at the beginning of the week and kind of gathering up some info and scheduling a few posts, so be it. If it means getting a little out of your comfort zone, see, I really just want to get you guys to a place where you're thinking, hey, I could post this would make a good post, right? Rather than thinking, what the heck can I post, right, Dorico? We got to shift from what the heck can I post to, ooh, let me post this. And the only reason I tell you that is because it has not always been a natural thing for me to want to post certain things, and so I still work on it. I still need work with it. Okay, and I mean it's something that I continue to try and improve on. So I want you guys to get into a place where you're working on it as well.
Okay.
All right.
Awesome.
Awesome. Well, you guys rock. Listen, I get back on Tuesday. Okay. There are 2 videos to still go up in Module 2. I will have videos in Module 3 right at the beginning of the week by Monday. I'm going to work on them on the plane a little bit. Content creation. There's going to be a lot of content for Module 3. Content is really my wheelhouse. Content creation is what I love. So if you guys have any questions along the way, let me know, and let's schedule coaching calls. Whether they happen this weekend or not is a different story, but they will happen before our next Q&A webinar.
Okay. Awesome.
Okay.
Thanks, Justice.
Guys, have a great night and keep it up. Okay, keep your foot on the gas.
All right.
All right. Thanks.
All right. Bye bye.